I am in the cellar.
We actually do have a cellar.
I am
We
the
just
cell dweller.
It's not our basement.
As I said, it's
But
not
it's-
your cellar.
We haven't rented the basement. Doesn't say we
That's-
get a basement.
That's true. In our
It's the attic.
contract,
It's there, but it's not ours.
yeah, that's true. We do have a
You don't-
basement,
you-
but it's not ours.
You don't know who's in the basement.
No, we don't actually. There could be like a hobo guy.
That's me. I'm the hobo guy living in the basement.
Soldier.
So that the
Thing.
cable goes into the basement and you can hear.
We have a lot of hippies down there, and all they have is some joints and a guitar.
That's me.
Hippies.
Take that, hippie.
There's a joint and a guitar.
Yes. So day 4.
Zacharias opens the door.
Well, I can say I finished Kyron's weapon now. Also this. He throws you a bag containing all the reagents from his other sword, which I've broken down.
Lovely. How much was that?
What was your old sword, Kyron? A Furious Falchion?
One Furious.
A Furious Falchion, +1, yes.
Well, let's have a look. +1 and Furious. You would gain...
8,000.
Okay, alright, this is its base value, so half it.
Alright. Lovely.
What's our budget right now? We should have quite a bit, don't we?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. We have over 30,000.
That is a lot. But didn't I get the thingies? The bracers? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Do I have that included in my stuff? Why do I have a will save of 7? It doesn't seem right.
Zacharias,
Yes.
if you wish now, I've completed all the major enchanting jobs that are required before we begin the siege, so I'm now free for infiltration when we need to.
Zacharias nods. Yeah, I sent a message to talk to Brother Thrain. I want to discuss with him some things about the Veil. It seems to me he should know a great deal. Having been here and being a senior priest in the Mithrin Church, hopefully he will tell us a way of actually getting in there. Maybe some information on the Veil itself. Apart from that, we have the Dwergar.
Definitely a lead I wish to follow up. Though talking to Frayne may be a very good idea.
Yeah, he was helpful enough before, and he seems to trust us somewhat. I think we should exploit that.
I have other uses for him as well.
Good. Good. Then you will, if you look into Zacharias' room, he won't really let Azurius in here, and he will kind of block the door. Looking over his shoulder, you might see there is a lot of sort of scrying equipment and stuff like that lying about.
Azurius isn't paying too much attention. He knows Azurius gets a general idea of what you tend to do from some of the things he sees you build in the lab.
Are you scrying your son?
But yeah, Azurius might notice, but he's not going to actively try peering over your shoulder.
That's good.
He has no. If you wish to do your own private things, that's your choice.
Oh, too bad I don't have Chloe anymore. I could get her to go in there and look.
Hey, listen!
She definitely could, because Chloe's invisible.
Yeah, she has a lot of sneak. She has.
Sneaky dragon.
Sneaky dragon.
Well, I did use her to follow Zacharias when he left the house.
Sure, he would appreciate that.
I'm sure
Well,
he
then
will.
he
That's fantastic, actually.
Well, he is so secret, and Kash is curious.
Zacharias will actually, walk over here and knock on Marcus's door.
Marcus will open the door. What's up? Well, he won't say that.
Yo, what's
What's
cracking?
up?
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Yay, yay!
Yeah.
Just because your armor is black, Marcus is not.
No, Marcus is indeed very white under that armor, I think.
Very white. It's called lack of sun exposure.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Well, because he's always got armor on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good lord.
I
So
live in
guys,
this
we'll
is my
look
house.
over and
It smells
says to
bad.
Mark. Say to Marcus. Actually, we did enchant his shield, right? Everything is done,
Yep.
correct?
It's +2, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Everything's done.
The only thing on my checklist I haven't done was making Tyne's armor a +2.
Oh, okay. Zacharias will just nod to Marcus and say, I have some time on my hands until we get the word from Brother Thrain. Motions to Marcus's cloak. If you want me to, I could quite easily increase the power of the protection of your cloak, Marcus. Making you even more impervious to, well...
Things. Marcus chuckles a bit and says, yes, that would be fantastic, actually. I'm grateful, thank you. And he'll kind of like unclasp it and hand it over.
Oh, Zacharias will grab it with the mage hand and have it float after him as he... We'll start walking over to the shop, basically saying to Azurius, I will be in the workshop for most of today, I think.
Very well, Zacharias. I cleaned up most of the mess.
Good, good. Tell me if any of the, meetings come, or... Actually, if he will, again, knock over here.
Kash will open the door.
Zacharias will nod, Lady Kash. Look over to Trick. We did discuss the opportunity or the possibility of Trick perhaps getting some tribute for the Draga for us.
Yes. I remember that.
Would you be kind enough to send him out today?
She looks a trick.
I mean, he did say that he would prepare the spells necessary today, so it's kind of expected.
Well, he is expected, so
Good.
yeah.
Do we hear like singing from the bathroom?
No.
Is anyone? Oh, I didn't know someone was in there. Kash will look at Zacharias and ask him Jill, can I ask you something very personal?
Zacharias glares at her. You can ask, but I'm not obliged to answer. What is it?
Are we gonna meet your son when we attack the Vale?
Zacharias looks very grim and says, I do not know. I rather we not. It could lead to complications.
It's just what information we have got. For me, at least, it seems like that is where he was going.
Zacharias doesn't really answer. He looks rather... No, you wouldn't really say distraught, but he looks a bit troubled.
Hmm. What are we to do if he is there?
Zacharias sighs. I don't know. I will try to talk to him.
Have you scryed him to see where he is now?
Yes, he seems to be in a small town or hamlet. I think it is the one inside the Vale.
Well, at least you know how he looks like.
Zacharias nods. Yes. Yes, I do. If he survives the ambush and the attacks, maybe I can have a longer conversation with him.
Are you not gonna... I don't... I'm not a parent, and I don't understand much about parenting, but what I would guess, wouldn't you want to get him before the others do?
Zacharias grimaces. I will not repeat Thorn's mistake, if that is what you are worried about. He will not jeopardize the mission.
That is not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the last part of your humanity.
Zacharias looks very surprised.
I saw the look you had on your face when you cut that tongue out of that man.
Zacharias looks around. I fear that my humanity has long abandoned me. I feel very little these days. I tend to surround myself with a void. He shrugs. I will not repeat Thorn's mistake, but I would enjoy speaking to my son.
I agree, don't repeat his mistake, but don't find your son dead either.
Zacharias grimaces. If I do, then so be it.
Life is very short. I've seen many die, and it hurts when you see them die.
You see, Zacharias' eyes sort of glaze over, and he becomes very still for a second, and then he, swallows pretty hard, and says, "Yes, life is short and frail, and we live only for such a small time." A spark in the great darkness. He grimaces again.
Kash looks sad and down at the ground and says, "The day the horse killed me, I saw everything around me turn to dust and me standing alone. I know I live a lot longer than all of you. I fear the day that are to come, when I'm here and you're not, all of you. I've been alone for so long. This is the first time I've actually been with people. This long, at least."
Zacharias makes a slight smile, and then says, I cannot see into the future, Lady Kash, but I do think there is quite some time before we are all dead and you are alone here." He looks around. "We have a difficult battle ahead of us, and maybe all of us will die as we crash against the wall of Saintsbridge. Maybe the Vale will overcome us, maybe the defenses are too strong. We don't know. As such, we should plan for not too far ahead in the future, I think." He smiles. "Then again, it pays to be prepared."
It does. Just don't look for your son if he's dead.
Zacharias looks very grim. "If he is dead." He sort of lets that hang, and just looks away. And then takes this quivering breath, and shakes himself. "This has unnerved me more than I thought it would. Sorry, Lady Kash, I have some work to attend to, I think."
Very well. Kash will just nod to Zacharias. Then do her alchemy.
As both of you can hear singing from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh no, Marcus isn't really singing that. Not out loud.
Brooding in the bath.
Instead of brooding, like,
The water is boiling around
Yeah.
him,
Yes.
and the faucet's not even on.
The only other person other than Azura is to make the water boil when they get in it.
Yeah. I like
just
that.
imagining Marcus sitting in the bath with his armor still on, just brooding.
No, he's sitting
I
like,
don't do this to get clean, I do it to relax.
you know, the art, how he sits in the picture. That's how he sits in that tub with his sword. There's candles in the background too.
Yeah, so to make the environment look nice and pretty.
It's like bathing in liquid wax.
Did you steal my candles?
So
All
what if I did?
367
What are you gonna
of
do
them.
about it?
Just gonna
No,
look
666
door
of them.
Oh,
Why do you have so many candles?
Because, why don't you?
Number of the beast.
Because they are evil.
Number of the beast is 616, though.
So?
I thought it was 666.
No, it's 6.
Yeah,
6.
that's what everyone thinks, but technically 616.
It
Oh, get
might
out of
be
here with your-
999.
Which
Who
would dare?
knows?
Oh yes, exactly. 999.
Yeah.
As Arnold Schwarzenegger told us in the great movie End of Days.
Yes.
Oh man, that movie! I saw that in the cinema. Oh man, that was something.
Before TV. The olden days.
In the olden days, people went to the cinema.
Right. So day 4.
Yeah.
Yes, we await the
Well, new guest.
call. Yeah.
Sure. You get a tell that that at night you have been invited to another symposium
Wonderful.
at the library
Oh, okay.
under your request for additional knowledge.
Cool. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
At night, you go there.
Close on.
At night we go there.
For Azorius. How does Azorius plan to get into the Grand Cathedral? He can certainly go in there, and there's a lot of people and a lot of priests around. Going around doing their thing. It's a
Basically,
huge cathedral.
of course, disguised as some random bystander.
Hmm.
Not being not in his normal form. He's basically just going to, well, if he can, see if he can just basically get in there, acting as a worshipper.
That's certainly easy. No one's really stopping him.
Just go in there and then basically, just ask, just basically ask, some basic questions about the faith. Nothing that would be. You're just basically trying to get a very good idea of everything to do with the Inquisition. Nothing that would make them think this is unusual. Just more like.
Yeah, they'll tell him about the fire undying aspect of Mithra that perhaps uses the roughest hand, but it is for the greater purpose of good. And that is basically, they'll tell him about the faith. They love talking about the faith. It's what they like to do.
Yeah, just gathering as much information as I can about the Inquisition as I can.
What's your religion rank?
My knowledge in religion?
Yeah.
I have currently 5 ranks in it.
Then you would probably know everything they're going to tell you at this point.
Okay, so in that case, would it be possible to have scoured the library? Anything?
The library?
Yeah.
Certainly has holy books on Mithra. There's a lot of them. And like theology and such. They have a huge section on that.
I assume I could
The
probably
old
find
philosophy area in the library is replaced with theology.
I'm guessing I could probably find some information on the Inquisition in there then.
Oh, plenty. You'll learn sort of at least. Well, could you roll a knowledge religion? Then?
Knowledge
You
religion
get a
check?
+4 additional
+4. Ooh, that's fun.
for doing a knowledge check in the library. Right? Yeah, you will learn a lot of information. You'll learn, for one, that the Inquisition here is actually under this cathedral. There's a big amount of catacombs where the Inquisition holds the ashes of and souls of the Holy Inquisition's burn victims in urns, so that they will never escape to whatever hell that they would join.
So where Azorius' ashes would have gone.
Yes, if he had been burned, he would likely have been taken there and imprisoned there forever.
So this is why people who are...
Burned at the stake, yes. The remains are usually taken here.
Maybe we should just run down there and smash all the pots over sometime.
To keep the devil from getting his pay.
Childhood prank.
And they're, of course, very well guarded. He also knows that this has a lot of Inquisitors, and that Inquisitors are usually high-ranking members of the Mithran Church. One does not simply become an Inquisitor. It is something that takes years and years of work.
If Marcus were a good guy, do you think he would have the capability to be an Inquisitor?
Becoming a member of the Mithran Church, however, begins by helping priests, doing things such as cleaning floors, building roads, general masonry work. When you have done that for a few years, usually you are accepted by some priest, and under his teaching, he will teach you how to become a devout and better worshipper of Mithra, and teach you the ways of the Mithran Church.
So that's probably the way actually
takes a
Marcus
few
did
years.
it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
And that will then bring you to what is then the selection, which is where whoever taught you can sort of put you up for promotion, if you will, to one of the cardinals of Mithra. There are quite a few of them around in different big cities, and they can then appoint new bishops, new holy warriors, new different things. Alternatively, if your priest or tutor thinks that it is the best for you, he can take you to one of the holy orders, and you can be introduced there as a priest acolyte. And as a priest, you basically usually you'd be given like a small church out in some little country town, and then you would live there as a priest, and that's basically what you would do generally.
Here, have a church.
If you're noble, however, you officially don't get any benefits, but usually the nobility has a way of
Not of course.
encouraging people to let their noble priest children get the good positions.
That is so boring. The whole get a church, living in this little city.
It is something that is good to do with your second son, for example. Since the first son will inherit the realm and such, you can't really. The second one has to do something else, and having him a high position in the church is so prestigious, and quite a nice position. I mean,
I'm powerful.
Priests in Talengard can get married and everything. They're actually encouraged to have a family.
Because you hate your second son.
No, it is what's best.
Just
You
don't
just- you
like
just-
him as
you don't-
much
you
as the
don't-
first one.
You don't want him killing your first son over the claim of the throne.
Yeah. First son gets all the good things, and the second son gets whatever keeps him from killing the first son.
And then the third son gets sent to prison.
And the third son gets into the military or prison, pretty much.
Generally, those are two good ways of earning title. Some do split the land up between their sons, but the most general is to send any further than the first one to the church.
And that, my son, is how family work.
Yes.
A church title does sometimes come with land. I mean, a priest generally has a church and a house and such.
But
Get a higher rank, then you'll get better things.
you just stay there all alone?
I mean, no, you do have a lot of other priests and acolytes and
You also
stuff,
have the rest of the town.
and
You're not-
friends and
yourself.
whatever family you want to make. I mean,
So you are
again,
allowed.
you're allowed to get married and have children and everything. It's encouraged.
Well, of
Family
course it
is
is.
an important thing to Mithra. So is love and just caring.
Malachi, would there be anything about off branches of the Mithran Church?
Generally, there are the holy orders, such as usually a saint will get a holy order dedicated to him or her, such as the warrior nuns, for example. Would be to Celestia Celeste, I think her name was. Their warrior saint, and the veil certainly also has the healing and the demon hunting sort of off branches or holy orders. And Marcus probably was part of a holy warrior order, or some other saint for whom he was a paladin. If he wasn't directly set to become one of the sort of a sergeant of the Knights of Valerian.
But before that, he was just making roads and cleaning
At
floors.
some point, yes, he most likely began as a young man, a devout young man who wanted to make a difference by helping the community and helping the priest run the local church.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
Well, it's
Until,
kind.
of course, my mentor makes me kill someone, and then I turn into a bad guy.
Huh. I still don't get why anyone would do that though. Oh, please let me wash your floor. We don't have a road. I'll build one.
You're devoted. You're trying to make Mithra see you in a good light.
Well,
By
they're trying to
washing-
make the place better, generally.
Yeah. Okay.
Help the priests. You know, the priest is usually old. Don't need your help.
I am an old man.
Is there
10 years' time, maybe you will be the priest.
who is
be an- old man who wants young people to wash your floor and build roads.
They generally do good work. It's you know,
Yeah.
you can't become a priest if you're not willing to work. Not even if you know.
Who's the bishop of the Grand Cathedral?
The bishop of the Grand Cathedral. I will get a name for you. Let's see here. That is Cardinal Leo Arestus, the Cardinal of the Mithran Church.
Can you send that?
I certainly can.
Thank you. Is his family name prevalent at all?
Usually, people in the church don't really use their family name. They're usually taking another name when they become priests.
So there probably won't be. Won't be easy to track down who he is.
No, and it probably won't matter that much. You will know, however, it's easy that he's not a spellcaster himself. Well, he does have a small measure of ability, but it is nothing sort of often used as such. He's certainly not one of the gifted of Mithra. There is another one, though. One of the Inquisitional sort of important people, which is Brother Cassius Stricken.
And that's spelled. Double checking.
And he is known to be quite the powerful spellcaster, actually.
Okay.
They are rare, but he certainly is a good one, as it would be expected of a grand cathedral. And if you want powerful divine magic, he is probably the guy to get in this town. Just as Tiberius is probably the guy for arcane stuff. Although, I mean, any scholar would think, you know, this is something that's not really discussed, but it's sort of understood in silence that Tiberius could most likely take this guy out and make him bend over and beg for his life with the snap of his fingers. So, you know, could never do that, but
Did I mention that I am allying myself with Tiberius?
that is something that you know the scholars like to sort of snicker about sometimes. That even though the church always wins, you know, if it came to a fight, then Fane could most likely single-handedly take out a lot of people. Still, certainly not a. Cassius the Stricken is certainly not a man you would want to run afoul of.
Well,
Very devout and very powerful.
all those guys we've been taking down we've been told that you better not cross this guy, he's a mean one. And Chiron killed him in one strike.
Yes. The most important fact.
Well, we are coming up in power levels now that...
Yeah, this is the highest level character I've ever had.
Cities, yes. It's you do find people here who are not just here for fun.
They're fucking business.
Everyone's here for fun.
Party town.
I guess that's good enough.
Most people, but there are
This is
people
Lazy
here
Town.
who are, you know,
I assume one of you guys would have. You know, if I was to leave a notice on my door, one of you would come to fetch me as you're walking out of here.
find me in the Grand Cathedral. I'll be trying to meet with the Inquisition.
I don't think so.
I don't mean it that.
You just enjoy that yourself.
It would be kind of funny if we
Well, I've probably been
didn't
in the library.
notice.
Actually.
If you're in the library reading about this stuff, then you'll most likely be in the very first rows of the library.
Then it'd be quite easy to
Roof
find
in
me.
front.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It's like huge plaques, like, read everything about Mithra here.
It is, again, as I said, the old arcane area are empty. The old philosophy area has now theology in it. So,
Bah.
What?
change.
That's what I did.
Thoughts and ideas can be dangerous for people. They should not read that. can make them doubt,
Hmm.
make them question. That is unhealthy for their faith.
Clearly.
Just to
Yeah.
believe Mithra.
And how strong is Mithra if they're able to make them doubt so quickly?
Heresy! She's a witch!
She'll be burned at the stake, yes.
Damn it, we melted down which brand?
Probably she would be taken in and have a talk with some priests, and probably be asked to stay at a church for some time and see the good Mithra does.
Hmm.
Just a
You
little
should be
bit.
someone good.
Maybe Kash can repent her evil ways.
Yes, maybe.
No.
Although she is a drow, so she'd most
Yeah.
likely be burned.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
Well, on the bright side, we know where to put your ashes.
Repentance by burning.
Fire is cleansing. That is what Mithra
Yes.
teaches.
Sure is.
It's a way to clean your
Yes.
soul, and then keep it forever locked down.
Mm.
Hidden in something you never talk about.
It seems very fishy.
Well, that
Oh, you
basement,
think?
the catacombs are something that Azurius discovers because he has an extreme knowledge in this field. It is not something that is openly spoken about.
You know, when I play the good guys, it's always like it feels like this really is the good side. There's nothing bad about this. But when we play the evil, you kind of find out what the good guys sometimes do. Like, having a cellar filled with ashes.
So my ash collection.
When you're the when you're the good guys, you either die or live long enough to find yourself become the villain. So
It's the way of keeping more demons from appearing. Isn't that good?
Just for
Keeping
the
souls
greater
prisoner to stop them from turning to devils and
Okay.
demons.
What about just burning people because of their race?
good. Well, she's
they're evil.
She's tainted by evil. Yes. Show me a drow.
Isn't Kash evil?
No, she wasn't to begin with.
Well, sure.
All drow are kind of, at least, inclined to be evil.